We set Kier up with an account. I can't remember the exact amount that was on there, but I was like, oh, wow, Kier's crushing it. Can you talk about some of the tactics?
Try to apply the same principles that we've already touched on. The same elements within a program presented differently create different results. So you could say for jiu-jitsu, hey, this is going to add muscle to your frame. Do most people want to go up a weight class? Probably not. Most jiu-jitsu athletes are trying to be lighter. But if I put myself in the shoes of a jiu-jitsu practitioner, which is easy to do, I had a knee surgery in January. I tore my other knee 2 weeks after coming back from the first one. I can't straighten either elbow. My neck hurts, my back hurts. It's probably going to be injury prevention and management of pain that's the primary problem being faced. I think the second is that there's not really a lifting culture in jiu-jitsu. So they want a very simple approach, not a lot of equipment, not a lot of space, not a lot of sophistication. And then I think a third element is just looking at how it fits around jiu-jitsu. And then maybe a fourth, if you're a competitive athlete, people hate to gas out. That's like the program. That's how we solve the problem. Once you've done that, if you reverse engineer a business, you say the lifetime revenue of a business is a function of how many people do you do business with, multiplied by what's the total amount of money that you do business with each person. It's your LTV, lifetime value, multiplied by your number of customers. LTV is a function of the value that you create. The more value you create, the more you get to capture and get paid. What's the predictor or the determinant of the number of customers that we do business with? It's two things. One is how many people do we reach in total? Distribution multiplied by the percentage that we can convert those people into customers, our conversion rate. So you want to push up both numbers as high as possible. How do you increase conversion rate? You be as persuasive as possible. You position yourself as an authority. You're trustworthy. You're likable. You show a track record of success. And you have to have a clear, concise, persuasive message. So that's basically within Train Heroic, it's a sales page.
Yeah.
You have to think about the structure. You have to think about what you say. You have to think about how you persuade people. Then once you have that in place, distribution. And if you look at the relative weighting of the two, it's probably distribution that matters the most. Kylie Jenner's not the most persuasive or intelligent business person in the world. She's got 1 billion people that she can go out and reach and convert those into dollars. If the highest your conversion rate is ever going to be is 100%, and that's probably not going to happen, but you can go out and be 1,000 times bigger, 10,000 times bigger, 100,000 times bigger in the people that you reach. So you do want to increase conversion, but you also want to get distribution. Now, once you've said, let's go get distribution, to use the analogy from Safari, if I asked you to go out and get me a photograph of a hippo, are you going to look on the plains or up a tree? No, that's where you're going to find a lion and a leopard. If I said, get me a photo of a hippo, you're going to go to the watering hole. What's the equivalent for your niche or audience that you're serving? There are concentric circles to this. The best people to sell to is your existing customers. The next one is going to be your previous customers. If you don't have those two, you want to look for first degree connection. That's people that you know that are already pre-sold on you as a person rather than the product or service, but it still has the same effect. Then it is going to be friends of friends. Then it's probably going to be friends of friends. Then it's probably going to be strangers. The first 3 layers is basically asking for introductions, sharing content, getting friends to tag people, all that kind of stuff. Once you start to get out to strangers, you have to look at where these people are hanging out on the internet. So hashtags, topics on X, Reddit groups, YouTube channels, all these different things. Put yourself in the shoes of those people and ask, where do I go to talk about this stuff? And that is when you have to start being useful. It kind of ties in with this, but the further out of those concentric circles the people lie, the less salesy you can afford to be, the more educational and servant-like you have to be. If I've already sold you $2,000 worth of stuff, how much persuasion do you think I need to say, hey, do you want to buy this other thing for $100? Not much. If I've never met you before and I say, hey, do you want to buy this template for $100? They'd probably say that to you because no is the easiest word to say. So you have to be a lot more soft with your approach and then gradually advance them in to that red hot center of being somebody that's like a raving fan of yours. And that's basically the modules that we work through once the product has been built.